Hey, this has been Eddie's Met, otherwise known as Matthew Wargler, and we're over here at the Just Coat blog. Going to be talking about this week in video game news once again. And so, once again today, I have my partner here, Will.
Yes, Will again, aka Josie Bob on the forums. I'm still here. Let's do this.
So, the first thing I want to talk about is the Nintendo's ad campaign for the Wii, which is nothing. So I guess they're doing so well that they want to lower demand this Christmas because they can't keep them on store shelves.
I think this is like super random. I don't know why they would do this, but apparently just Wii is so ownage that it doesn't need to advertise at all, and it can still sell everything. So sounds cool to me.
Crazy stuff, crazy stuff. All right, so let's just move on now. So on previous week in video game news, I talked about Guitar Hero 3 sound issues. A lot of people are asking questions. What's going on? It looks like the Wii version of Guitar Hero 3 just plays in mono sound. There's no stereo sound. So apparently they can't fix it with downloads. So Activision is gonna produce more new discs that will be released in 2008, and anyone that bought the game previously can get these discs for free. And also, apparently they're working on downloadable content, and no one knows if you have to pay for it or if it'll actually be a download or not. But it looks like the Wii version will get some kind of extra content, much like the 360 and PS3 have already received.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty cool. DLC would be awesome because that might mean other Wii games could get DLC, and maybe we would catch up a little bit on the online department. Um, the sound issues of GH3, well, that would definitely need to be corrected, but didn't really affect me. I had PS2 version of GH3, so sucks to be you, Matt.
Yeah, I noticed something was a little strange when we first got it, but it didn't. I mean, it doesn't really bother me that much. I mean, it'd be nice to hear the difference. I mean, I think after playing it for so long, without stereo sound, maybe I would notice. But so the next thing that we want to talk about is the 360 Gold membership, which a lot of people are talking about. Xbox Live and the Gold membership and the Silver membership, and how you don't get very much of the Gold one besides playing online and shit, but and voice chat. But there's no real difference between them in like downloadable content. So Microsoft has finally changed that, and now when they release new content onto the Xbox Live, you're gonna have to wait a week if you're a Silver member. You're gonna have to wait a week before you can download it, any trailers or demos or anything like that. So will that affect your membership, Will, to Xbox Live?
Well, I'm already a gold member, so I could play Halo 3 and Team Fortress 2 online. So I think it's good. It makes it a little more incentive for the gold memberships to get a gold membership, so you get the new content. But it's also a little jacked up. I'm like, sorry, Silver, if you don't want to pay online, then you don't get shit for a while. Yeah, so it's a little jacked up.
Yeah, I mean Microsoft made the comment, that they're not trying to really piss anyone off. They're trying to annoy the silver. They literally said, we want to annoy the Silver members. That way, they'll buy into our Xbox Live. Which I mean, I guess is pretty cheap, right?
Yeah, it's pretty cheap.
Yep. But I mean, sadly, I don't have a 360 yet, so I can't really talk about the prices and whatnot. So I mean, one other little thing I wanted to mention is Call of Duty 5, which is of course in the works. People are releasing, their lists of games they're working on. Call of Duty 5, Guitar Hero 4, and all that stuff. It's coming out next year, obviously. What really sucks is that it looks like so far Call of Duty 5 is gonna be in development by Treyarch, who did Call of Duty 3, which lick balls.
Yeah, lick balls.
And it also looks like they're gonna bring the game back to World War II. Which I don't know if any of you have played Call of Duty 4, but it's like the greatest first-person shooter ever. So this is pretty disappointing.
Yeah, I'm also very disappointed in this. All I hope is that the makers of Call of Duty 4, will make a new game soon. So, or an expansion pack at least for Call of Duty 4. Uh, yeah, it's Call of Duty 5 might lick balls, so just be careful.
Yeah, I don't think it's that really big a deal because I mean we could play Call of Duty 4 forever. So we'll just wait till the next Infinity Ward Call of Duty game. So another thing on the list, and after this we're gonna get some quick updates of previous stories. But I just wanted to touch on Street Fighter 4, which is everyone pretty high anticipated considering Street Fighter is one of the best fighting franchises, the best fighting franchises ever. So, and the one I'm talking about is Street Fighter 4, not the Street Fighter 2 Turbo HD remix, I believe they call it. And so what's interesting is that they barely released any information about this game or any screenshots, but they did just release that it's going to be 2D, which I think everyone is really looking forward to. After playing the originals and the 3D versions, which always suck a lot more than the 2D versions, and it's a pretty big announcement. So yeah.
Well, I never played that much Street Fighter 2 until recently when my friend got it on VC for the Wii, and I've been playing it a bunch. And it's actually a really good game, and the 2D Fighters is classic, even though I really like Soul Calibur 2, which is 3D. But 2D games are classic, and I think it would be a good retro game to go back to the old school way.
Yeah, the only thing I wonder is if people will want to bother with paying the full price for Street Fighter 4 when they could just pay for the HD remix, which is just a remake and a better balanced version of the original Street Fighter 2, Turbo. And so I'm just wondering if people really want to play the new one or not. So I mean, the other thing we have is some updates, just from previous news I had. The PS3 Rock Band, Rock Band version. You can't use the GH3 controllers. Basically, it's impossible to play 4-player Rock Band, which is kind of the point of the game. And it looks like Activision is working on some kind of update or something to compatibility. They haven't really been updating it that much, but there's a post in their forums by one of the official Red Octane guys, and they're like, yeah, we're working on it. But so far, it looks like it sucks pretty hard.
Yeah, they better do it, those bastards.
But I mean, we're going to be playing the 360 version. But even so, once again, you can't use we can't even buy a separate GH3 guitar because we're not going to sell them to 2008. No, you can't buy a.
Oh, well,
Yeah, you can't buy a GH3 guitar, and you can't buy a Rock Band guitar either separate. So you're kind of stuck playing 3-player unless you have a 360 and you're willing to buy the old GH2 guitar, which I mean we have to do because we need to play Rock Band, and we can't really wait any longer.
Rock Band.
And so, I mean, the only other thing we want to talk about today is Gerstmann, Jeff Gerstmann at GameSpot, who got fired recently. And basically, I just want to talk about not talking about him.
Oh my God, you're such a rebel, Matt. You're a rebel.
Because, everyone has all these stories and stuff, so I'm sure you've read about it. If you want to read anything else about it, Joystick always has, some crazy stories and podcasts or whatever about it. Advanced Media Network is doing something, an editorial on it just to end it all, and so... Yeah, so if you want to read anything about that, you can check it out some other place. So yeah, I mean, I guess that's all we got to say today. So see you next week.
See you next week.